Hey everyone, welcome back to the Wisdom of Odin. I am at a spot that I have been to so many times throughout my history as a pagan and as a YouTuber. You maybe recognize it if you've been with the channel for a very long time. I've come to this three streams coming into this pool right here so many times I don't even remember. And it made me reflect on a concept in history that we know from the pagan past. And that is the sacred grove and the importance of having a sacred spot in nature. And it made me realize that this is mine because I've come back here through so much, through, triumphs, through dark times, good times. I've brought so many different friends here. In fact, anyone that comes to Kentucky, I usually bring them here to tell them about this spot and the spirit that I feel here. And I realize that this is my sacred grove. And so I wanted to make this brief video for the people that are getting into this faith for the first time, that I think it's very important to choose a spot in nature, no matter where you live. Again, I live in Kentucky, a place that most people wouldn't consider special. And yet, this is about an hour from my house. I come here to reflect and share stories and, just look upon life and my pagan journey. And so I think if you're just getting started on this path, or if you've been on this path for a while, having a space that you can go to reflect, I think is very, very important. And a place that you consider sacred, a place that you give offerings at. I've given countless offerings here and called to the gods and the spirits, and again, brought so many people here and have so many memories. Maybe you need convincing. Well, historically, there is a lot of evidence to suggest that sacred groves and sacred places like this, well, not even suggest, we know. Suggestion isn't even the right term. We know that people from Germania, written by Tacitus, had sacred groves. We know the Celts had sacred groves. We know that the Scandinavians had sacred groves. Typically because we know the Christians often would destroy them. We also know from place names that still exist now. I reflected on this while in Germany at a place called the Osterseen, the Ostara Lakes. And so that place has no evidence of pagan worship there outside of the name. It was named after a goddess. And so there was something there. There was something connected to spring. There was something connected to this goddess. There's places literally named after the gods all across Europe. Oh, I also want to add here as well that it doesn't have to be somewhere like super duper crazy beautiful. I mean, this is beautiful, obviously, but it doesn't have to be so dramatic. In fact, I'm very glad that the spot is really just three streams coming together into a pool here in the middle of a trail. Because when going across Europe, I found that a lot of the times these places didn't have to be so crazy. When I was going to the Ribe Viking Center in Denmark, they still had a sacred grove or a marsh bog thing that was maintained by a vulva that lived out there. And it was literally like a patch of trees with a swamp in the middle of it, where offerings were everywhere. And so don't think that it needs to be the side of a mountain next to a waterfall, all these things. If you live in the middle of Illinois, you can go to just a patch of trees and make that your sacred grove. What really makes it sacred is you going there, giving offerings, reflecting on spirits, reflecting on the gods. I mean, obviously, if you feel a presence there, obviously that means you should definitely choose that spot, or you can choose that spot. But just try not to put too much pressure on yourself to make it this big, grandiose place. It doesn't have to be so grand. And so, sacred places is a very important part of a pagan practice. And so I truly believe if you're getting into this path for the first time, or if you've been on this path for a while, have a place that you go to reflect, that you go to share stories, that you go to leave offerings, to perform small little rituals, the place to take your friends. A sacred grove, I think, is a very important part of a pagan practice. That's all I have for this video. I wanted to make it nice, short, and sweet because I want to make sure that I put content on this channel that is easy to digest and helpful to you. So if you want more videos like this, please let me know down below that you like these little tidbits of information, and I'll start making more of them for you to enjoy. So get out there, no matter where you live, find a space that you want to deem sacred and talk to the spirits there and reflect on your life and your journey for years to come. So with that, thank you so very much, and until the hall.